All right, I am all ready now to go ahead and make my pie crust. I like to just make your basic pie crust for my pumpkin pie. And I use good old Betty Crocker's recipe that I got, cookbook I got when I first got married. So let's get started and make this pie crust. First thing I need is 1 1/3 cup of flour. All right, once I have my flour, it calls for shortening, but I like to use coconut oil, and I use organic coconut oil. And it asks for a 1/2 cup of coconut oil. So we're gonna get that. And you wanna just make sure that you level it off. Really nice. Okay, I'm gonna put that in there. Calls for a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I like to use my kosher salt. I'm kind of a kosher salt person. There we go. There's my 1/2 teaspoon. Okay, then I'm going to take my pastry cutter. I'm going to go ahead and cut in my coconut oil. You want to kind of make it look like little crumbles. You want all that oil to totally be blended with your flour. Oh, this is looking good. Looking good. Now, as you can see, I've got it all in little crumbles. That is perfect. That's the way I like it before I add my water. Okay, looks good. I've got all my coconut oil and flour blended together, and now it's in crumbles along with my salt. Now I'm going to add 3 to 4 tablespoons of water. And you just kind of want to go 3 tablespoons and then see if you need a little bit more depending on how moist or how dry you want your pie crust. There's 2 and 3. Okay, I'm going to leave that like that. I like to use just a regular fork to start mixing this together. Oh, this is looking great. Oh, this is going to come together. I may not need to add any more. Oh, this is perfect. Okay. Here, see, I like mine just like this. Look at that. Okay. The less you play with your dough, the better. All right, now I'm going to roll it out on my pastry mat. All right, I love my pie mat, and it is so convenient to just put this on your counter and be able to roll out all your doughs and your pie crusts. So put a little flour kind of in the middle here, and I just spread it around. I'm kind of generous. Put a little over here for, I know I'm going to need more than that. I take my pie dough, and I just kind of pat it down. Pick it up. And I know I've used most of my flour there. I'm going to put it on the other side now. And I just kind of like to pat mine out in a circle to just get started. Because what this does is it gets it started and it gets it all, totally gets enough flour. Okay, so now I'm going to take my rolling pin and I'm going to roll it out. Okay. Like I said, I use a lot of flour because I do not care for it to stick. Okay. This is looking great. And you kind of just measure, make sure. It looks like we're getting really good on the size here. Okay, so then is what I do next. I get my pin all full of flour, and I roll my dough up on my pin. Okay, this way I can make sure that we're going to not have anything stick, and you can help your crust kind of get up and off your mat. Okay, I've got myself one doughy crust, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. It looks flaky. Then is what you want to do. Bring your pie and roll it back out over your pie plate there. And I kind of have to manipulate it a little bit, it looks like. And looks like I'm a little low over here. You see that? Got a little spot? No problem. I'm going to take a little bit off of here, off of this side. I'm going to do a little patch job. Okay. Oh, it looks like this actually folded under a little bit. So let's pull that out. Oh, that looks even better yet. Oh, look at that. Okay, perfect. Let's take a little bit of that. We are going to just patch it up just like that. Doesn't that look great? Okay, now to make it look pretty, because right now it doesn't look as pretty as it could be. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and cut our excess off. Just take your knife. Alrighty, now I just like to do a little pinch decorative top. I'm just going to go around. I'm going to just take my 2 fingers and my thumb, and I'm going to just pinch and make a little scallop. Okay, this is just kind of your traditional pie crust here. You know, there are many different edges you can do. So we're just going to come around here. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, I'm just about done. You can kind of go around and kind of repair it up a little bit like this. I want this a little higher, so I'm going to add. This is great. I'm just going to add it in. Okay, so there we go. There is my pie crust all ready to go for my pumpkin pie. Awesome. How fun is that? Okay, now my timer went off. It's been 30 minutes, and I pretty much left my front vent open. I left the bottom vent open, but I shut the back, and I let this thing just cook. And right before I put my pumpkin in to cook, I loaded up my box with wood so that there would be some fresh wood in there to keep the heat continuous for 30 minutes at about between 375 and 400 degrees. Let's check out our pumpkin and see if we need to cook it a little bit longer. Oh, I can totally hear it sizzling. Can you see that? That is brown. Okay, that is done. You just poke it, and if it just pokes in like easy like that, the meat of the pumpkin is ready to go. So let's pull it out. Let's take it out, and then we'll let it cool. And while I'm letting my pumpkin cool, I want to kind of maintain the heat of my wood cook stove. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to button up the front. I'm going to shut this vent. I'm going to shut my bottom vent and my back vent. I'm going to leave my vent for my oven open. So everything in here is going to maintain. And then when I'm ready with my pumpkin puree, I'm then going to go ahead and open the vents back up, put some more wood in to keep it going while my pie is cooking. So here we go. Shut that. Shut that. And I've got that shut. Okay, so now I'm going to just let my wood stove maintain while I make my pumpkin puree, and then go ahead and make the pumpkin filling and fill it up for my pumpkin pie.